Oh, here we go again.
One year in. It's the middle of July. You're watching the TheJackSmit.com YouTube channel, and welcome to the first anniversary of the journal. Well, you just knew that we had to recreate that opening for the very first episode, didn't you? Episode 14. Episode 14 at last. I'm surprised we have actually made 14 in a year happen. We have a lot to show you this month. This is going to be more of a vloggy style of thing. It's going to be less talk about film. This is more going to be what I get up to this month, because there is a lot happening. To our viewers who've been with us from the very start, thanks for supporting us through thick and thin, especially with the launch of Born Independent that basically changed the way we do things. We are actually shooting this little bit at 24 frames a second. We are shooting this to cinema standards, and we're shooting this on an iPhone. Literally, we are literally shooting this on iPhone. Seriously, we are literally shooting this on an iPhone. This is how crazy life is nowadays. Oh, and because we're super snazzy, we've not just got this camera, but we've also got that camera as well. Yes, proper Harry Hill style cutaways, because why the hell not? But aside from shooting on basic equipment, there has been a lot going on this month. We've had the marathon, we've had graduation, which is why I'm still wearing the tie. But for our season finale, we're going to show you the best bits of all of it. So, without any further ado, let's begin at 10 AM on a random Monday morning. Whoa, hang on 1 minute. Before we go anywhere with the marathon, a quick bit of a history lesson. A TheJackSmit.com birthday marathon is 3 or more films back to back in the same cinema. We came up with this idea in 2016 for my 18th birthday, and it was the only time that it went flawlessly. This year, it was a lot more difficult than ever, because some of our co-creators of the marathon, they know who they are, were 4,000 miles away this year, missing out on what was arguably the centrepiece of my 21st birthday celebrations. And it's a big deal. The thing about a marathon that just gets me every single year is how awesome the staff are. I mean, having a good chunk of them be 4,000 miles away, it's emotionally quite difficult. But we always pull this damn thing off. Every single time. With that being said, let's go. Graham, let's do it. Now, it's been a bit of a running joke over the years we've done the birthday marathon, especially since the refurb, The Times monitor never wants to work, but for the second year in a row, not ideal. No, there it is. Far From Home showing up, and it's working properly. About damn time. Only took him 2.5 years. Good morning, View Preston. This is going to be my home for the next 7 hours or so. And film 1 today. Boy howdy. I think a rant's brewing. So, film 1 down. Gotta admit, Queen's Corgi is as bad as the trailers have made it out to be. There are not many laughs in this film at all. The one laugh that did get me by surprise was the Donald Trump joke that you heard in the trailer. All sorts of things about grabbing them by the puppy. Yeah, that's a thing. But the writing is just weak. As for the cast, it's underwhelming. As Brits get Jack Whitehall, Sheridan Smith, Julie Walters, Ray Winston, Matt Lucas, Tom Courtenay, John Culshaw and Deborah Stevenson doing the impressions of those two. It's an awful cast. I'm surprised this film got a cinema release, I'll be very honest with you. I've got an hour's break in between this and Spider-Man. So I'm going to go and catch up with the great men and women of this place, because they're awesome. So who exactly are the great men and women? This is an esteemed group of people who've worked at that cinema over the years, who've had a hell of a lot of input on the blog. They've helped suggest things like getting one of these to sort of help make Talking Smit about film come alive. They've also helped with the reviews. On top of that, they helped plan the marathon. And they include some of the people in America I mentioned earlier. There have been general managers, there have been customer assistants, there have been quite a few team leaders over the years. They're not just friends, they're family. And as you can tell by all the stubs, I see them a lot. Oh, it feels good to be back where I belong. So, Spider-Man Far From Home was insane. Queen's Corgi was awful. Now we're on to the last film, Yesterday. Well, but saying that about Queen's Corgi, it does smell of one very particular thing. I smell bull smell. Yeah, we had to go big for the anniversary. Right, film 3, let's do it. 15 years ago, I set foot in this screen for the very first time. And it's apt that I finish this year's birthday marathon here in Screen 6 at View Preston. On October 16, 2004, roughly around where the wheelchair bay is now, I watched my very first film. This is seat E9, my throne in this place. And I'm about to watch Yesterday. It's beyond an honour and a privilege. But to have fostered relationships with the staff, including Graham, the general manager, Zoltan, David, Simon, the thousands of CAs I've met over the years, Sarah, Rach, so many people to name. The fact that I get to celebrate my 21st birthday with this lot is I can't find the words. I mean, I'm not going to lie, this is the worst bit of the marathon, is sort of getting ready for the last film. Especially knowing that you've got to write so many reviews and edit journals afterwards. Yeah, it's not nice. And it's, yeah, can't find the words to describe. So, was this marathon a success? It was. It was the first time in 4 years that it had actually gone faultlessly. From the staff to operations to even the discovery that my beloved Screen 6 had had its 3D lens removed. Yeah, we did a whole episode of a podcast about that. Everything went to plan, which is rare on an endeavour like this. Just walking down that corridor, seeing the entire cinema that I've grown up in, View's Cinema of the Year no less, seeing them continually kick ass, made me so proud. Now, running a multi-film session like this has its pitfalls, especially if you know the building as well as I do. Sometimes you can literally be checking to see if a sound system's working. You could even be potentially checking whether your Starbucks machine is in good working order. The one downside about this Earl Grey machine, never quite gets it all the way up to the top. Just my bloody luck. Or in many other cases, you're checking to see whether the ticket machines themselves are on. Not nice. And they're both working for a change. Lovely. Yep, I knew it wouldn't last the whole day. The screen froze at 6 o'clock. Just my bloody luck. But that is pretty much it for this year's birthday marathon. It was a good one this year. 2.5 fantastic films. Queen's Corgi was only good because it had a funny Donald Trump joke in it. Now, our original plan was to record all of the reviews out on location, but I think you can understand that doing a podcast in and around a multiplex cinema that has had countless sellout shows, 7 screens, and at any one time 500 people coming in and out, it's not a nice thing at all. So we've had to cheap out, and we've had to record all of the reviews and the film news rundown here at Smit HQ. And also, a big little thing, hello to all of our viewers watching this on the journal, because we're filming this bit for episode 14. All will become apparent when you see it on July 31st. But I genuinely did not enjoy watching this film on Monday. It only did 3 admissions. Yes, really. 3 admissions. And it's also a damn good advert for movie piracy, let's be honest, because who would pay £12.29 peak time to watch a film this bad? I've not had this much fun in a cinema ranting about a film for this long. One of the staff members came in to do a screen check on this film about an hour and 5 minutes in. I went out for a loo break and I said to Adam, I was like, because he asked me, has the film been that bad for the whole thing? And I just turned to him and I said, unfortunately, mate, yes. You guys get it easy doing screen checks. It's up there with 9 Lives. It's up there with Show Dogs. And it's up there with Patrick in terms of some of the worst films I have seen in a cinema environment. Is this film worthy of a cinema release? No. Is this film worthy of your watching? No. Is this film decent? Well, it's not worth watching. So yes, The Queen's Corgi is not that good of a film. I've got my actual review notes from on the day, I used to do 6 bullet points, and I'm going takeaways: awful, political, poor taste, no performance of note, and the dubbing is obvious. Yesterday just doesn't quite deliver on the goods. It feels a little bit samey. Without spoiling too much, there are moments in this film where I was like, God, are they really doing this? Are they really having to do this future? And also, going to be a little bit picky here. The scenes apparently filmed at Wembley. Well, I could spot banners that said Principality Stadium, Wales in there. There are continuity errors all over the shop, and for those of you who watch your Six Nations rugby, it's easy to spot which bits were filmed in Cardiff and which bits were actually filmed at Wembley. Himesh Patel, best known as Tanwar Masood in EastEnders to us British viewers, he's really good in this. He can carry this film on his own, which is fantastic. And pairing him with Lily James was a novel piece of casting. They make an adorable sort of set of leads. We've got James Corden popping up in his late show capacity, and Ed Sheeran. Yes, really, Ed Sheeran. He can't act. Well, he can barely act. But even with the issues that we've got here, Yesterday is really enjoyable, but that combination of Boyle and Curtis just simply doesn't work as well as we were hoping it was going to be. Is it worth a watch? Boy, is it worth a watch. But I can't give it any higher than that because there are issues with the film that could sort of set people off a little bit. So, of course, in April, the world bid farewell to this generation of Avengers. It broke their hearts, and now we've got the return of the web slinger, the second film in Sony's deal with Marvel Studios to share creative control on the character and have Sony distribute the solo Spider-Man films. The rule is that this film has to make $1 billion for this deal to continue and for Tom Holland to come back for a third film. Having seen the film, I think that's going to happen. It's already done $600 million on its opening weekend in America. It didn't drag. Obviously, the first half hour or so is recapping the events of Endgame for people who sort of missed out. But the script is really good. There are some genuinely funny moments. The characters are developed a little bit more. We get to see more of the most adorable couple in cinema right now. Let's be real about this. This is a genuine Spider-Man 2 moment. The first film was sort of seeing Peter Parker become Spider-Man, which was fantastic. This is Spider-Man becoming a hero. And you've got this cast are just brilliant too. You've got Jake Gyllenhaal, who is incredible as Mysterio. He's underused a little bit. So yes, Far From Home is a hell of a way to set up Phase 4 of the MCU. I'm genuinely interested to see what they do next. This film is a should-be-watched film. This is a should-be-watched film because if you care about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you want to see what they're doing for the next couple of years, this is the film that sets it all up. So see it big, see it loud. And with that being said, spoilers incoming! If you haven't seen the film, please stop listening for a few minutes, because we are going to talk about that post-credit scene. I have to get this off my chest. Holy crap, they got J. Jonah Jameson. They got J.K. Simmons back. What? And unfortunately, for our journal viewers, this is where we bid you farewell from Talking Smit About Film. If you want more of this, subscribe to Talking Smit About Film on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts from, because this is a weekly thing. So, farewell, journal viewers. I mean, admittedly, I like View and I like Odeon. But which one's better? No, we're not going to ask them to fight. We're all about making sure both cinemas get the best out of each other. Because that's how this industry grows, after all. So yes, that is basically all that we got from the marathon this year. But there is also something a little bit bigger that went down on July 17th. Something that you could argue was quite a life changer. Oh, you know it gets real when I'm in the suit. So to give you the full context behind this year's graduation, it's been uncertain. Originally, you can use a venue in Preston called the Guildhall, a 2,000 seat venue. They've used it quite successfully for 39 years now. Until this happened. What the hell? So with 6 weeks until the biggest day of the year for the entire uni, not just for us, but for the lecturers, the staff, the people, the higher ups. That's the best word I can use to describe it. For the higher ups, this week in July is the biggest of the entire year. So they had to improvise a lot, and sure, the thought of graduating in a converted gym sounded hilarious. But it looked a little bit like this. Oh yeah, they did good. So when we got there, it was quite a simple case of get gowned, catch up with the gang, head over to the hall, and wait. And the waiting was the worst part, because Lancashire Law School graduated before our lot. They're a big school. They are a very big school. And they're a very lovely lot too. I know a lot of people sort of who've worked with them over the years. I'm going to be able to mention one of them in a minute. But they were a big school to sort of get through. So we had to wait a bit, but 3:15 they let us in. And it was warm. I'll admit it was a little bit warm. They gave us water, which is pretty nice. But at 3:45 they shut the doors, and they began live streaming it. And I can tell you, guys, I'd watched some of the streams earlier on in the week. You know stuff's about to get real at a UCLan graduation when you hear this. Yep. When the Leyland band started playing that, you just knew we're off. Speeches, pretty good, I'll admit. Neil Sutcliffe was our orator. We had Liz Bromley sort of to head it all. Would have been lovely to get round there. Not gonna lie, would have been really lovely to get round there. And then it was time to get on with the process of awarding honours. And because we're right in the middle, we had a hell of a wait in front of us.
Bachelor of Arts with honours in Film and Media Studies, TheJackSmit.
And you just know from the minute I shook Liz Bromley's hand, life would change forever. This is what being a first-class graduate in Film and Media Studies looks like. And that was the dissertation that helped us get it. I see potential for a master's in that, you know. And on top of that, some of the speeches that we heard from the officers of the Students' Union were absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's not often that you see the Vice President Education for the whole Students' Union, very good friend of mine, seeing Steph Lomas make a joke about Rihanna at graduation was nothing short of extraordinary.
Your degree is the driving licence for the ride of your life. Bear with me on this metaphor, it does work. Sometimes the car you get isn't the one you wanted, but it's the car you need at the time and is a stepping stone towards that Lamborghini. Sometimes you might stall. But you know how to overcome it, because you'll have stalled at university before. And sometimes you might break down. But you have loved ones and a huge U-Clan fam to push you up the hill until you are running again. So continue to say yes. Work hard. And make change. And don't be scared of the direction you drive in. Because in the words of a modern day philosopher, Rihanna, baby, you got the keys. Shut up and drive.
I mean, admittedly, I'd heard that joke like 4 times in the week, in the days building up, because I watched all the streams beforehand, just to have a rough idea what was going on. It got a good reception on the day, and I imagine everyone will be quite glad about that. There was also, before it even got going, there was an adorable kid. So in the because it all got live streamed, which is how we're able to sort of use the footage. There was an adorable kid beforehand. The camera cut to him, and what he did in the most shameless plug manner, he just flashed his Nintendo Switch. He had a nice little level on Super Mario Maker 2. Yeah, I know my gaming too. I can just see a good old OG Xbox collection just over there. A couple of GameCube games. But there was an adorable kid. He sort of flipped his Switch to the camera, and he was working on a level of Super Mario Maker 2. And I'm like, yep. This is a good crowd, all right. So I think we did well there. But yes, graduation was a very entertaining experience. The waiting around was a killer. The formalities, being gowned, being suited and booted, getting my hands on one of these, and being able to keep them, which is a nice little touch from the university. I believe we're only the second year we've been allowed to keep the mortarboards. Believe me, we kept a tight hold of this from coming home from Preston. I think I might wear it on the next view session. But yeah, graduation was it was a good day. Really enjoyed it. A nice sort of way to bring the curtain down on 3 years of fantastic work, and arguably a fitting way to bring the curtain down on season 1 of the journal.
Mission accomplished.
You know what I've been thinking? We've shown a lot over the last year.
We've shown what university can do.
We've done radio every single Friday. We've covered the independents, we've covered the multiplexes. We've broadened our relationships with cinema general managers. And we've also worked with some top-tier film production students. All of this has got me thinking. What now?
If you're familiar with his soundtrack albums, you'll know what I mean when I say pun-filmed. Pun-filmed? We've got an outtake on video. Lovely.
Oh, got a pocket in there. Didn't know that. Literally learning something new about this suit every time I wear it. Well, you've worn it 3 times. Journal 11, haunting, and now graduation. Right, let's just get this out of my system now and hope for the best. You never know what these colds are like. Tilly! I'm filming! And on top of that, I'm not going to lie, some of the speeches that we heard from student union offers.
Where's my rip ticket spoiler alarm? I don't think I even have it on here. Is it in podcasts? Right, we'll do it while the trailer's on. 3, 2, 1. And there it is, that is this week's UK and Ireland box office top 10 in the bag.
One take! One take! And I think I can consider that a wrap on Journal 14. That's... Right, this is season 1 wrap. Good lord.
So, 14 episodes in. And I'm really enjoying this whole YouTube content creation arc. You know, this YouTube adventure's been quite enjoyable so far. But it feels like there's just something missing from it all. I think it might be the fact that we're based here in Preston. What can we do? I think I've got the idea. Cinemas maketh man. I think we all know what that means.
I honestly don't know where else we could visit. Actually, I think there is one place we definitely need to go to.
So, are we going to sit around in Preston all summer long, or are we going to travel?
Oh, you're still here? Well, we thought we'd do a dynamic end board for a change. Hopefully you've enjoyed what we've been able to produce for Series 1 of the Journal. Series 2 will begin very soon with that elusive Robin Hood episode, because we thought it would be the best way to open a season up. So, you know what to do next. You'll be able to subscribe somewhere around here. And somewhere around here, you'll be able to watch the entire series, all 3+ hours of it, in a proper Netflix-style binge. The Journal, like Rip Ticket, will return. Don't worry.